We've had a wastewater treatment plant concern with capacity in an age facility for probably about a decade. We haven't been able to have development in East St. Paul for approximately 10 years. We've not been able to approve development to a scale of a subdivision, bringing in new homes and a new tax base. So we've been actively looking for solutions, trying to source funding to rebuild a plant.
It really boils down to how can we do more with the same volume, essentially the same footprint. And when you look at bioreactors, again, whether it's a Cyclor Turbo or any process, even non-SBR, how do we physically get more microorganisms in the reactor to do more treatment in the reduced footprint? So that's the challenge. Cyclor Turbo addresses that.
We're SBR, like sequencing batch reactor. We're actually not a batch process, we're a continuous flow. Which is nice about the turbo, which I'm noticing a difference, is it's actually a batch process. So we can control the flow that's actually going into the basin rather than whatever comes in.
If you have, let's say, conventional biomass, it takes about 30 minutes to see significant settling in the reactor. Cyclor Turbo, the way in which we select for the biomass, you'll see most of your settling occur within a 5 to 10 minute period. So rapid settling.
One thing I've noticed is definitely the sludge is different. So we find like having a more densified sludge, it's thicker than a flock. So sometimes when the SBR is settling, I notice there's still a lot of suspended material, and it feels like with the Cyclor Turbo, it settles a lot more compact and together. There's not as much floating, suspended material in the wastewater.
So Cyclor Turbo, it comes in, it does a better job on the BOD and TSS. We say 15 milligram per liter without supplemental chemical or intervention. So far at East St. Paul, we're seeing 10 milligram per liter now, and that's a month after startup. So that's fantastic, especially under the spring snowmelt conditions that we're seeing. And the phosphorus we would expect to be at that 1 milligram per liter biologically. So no need for chemical. You save the operating costs. You reduce a bit of the carbon footprint because you don't have to truck in chemical. And again, from a sludge handling standpoint, there's less excess solids.
So I would say one of the biggest things is, you can control the ammonia and you can see it, which we do set our blowers. We can manually do that. And for us, we would have to go to our engineers to do that. And they can basically off their levels, they can control the energy.
We can really fine tune the energy efficiency of the Cyclor Turbo process. Already the way that it operates with the densification, the types of microbial processes that we select for to do the densification, we decrease the net oxygen requirements because the biomass just doesn't need as much to do the nutrient removal that it would, conventionally. But layering on instrumentation and fine-tune operation, you can actually dial in that energy efficiency even more. And to the point where you're looking at 50% or less of the energy demand of conventional processes.
This is actually what we're all about, which is making sure that with the water service, the wastewater treatment, that we enable cities and communities to grow in the way that they need to grow. The technology, the Cyclor Turbo technology, it is an intensified version of a sequencing batch reactor. So what we do is we've got a really advanced treatment process where it creates a sludge that's really, really dense. And so it allows you to fit more treatment capacity into a smaller footprint.
The whole concept of densified sludge systems, aerobic granular sludge, these are technology's been around for quite some time, even in the concept several decades. However, our industry is slow to move and slow to adopt. So you need installations and you need references and you need data for people to become comfortable with the technologies that you have. So our interest in being involved with SUEZ was the fact that SUEZ had done a tremendous amount of great development work in France and in other areas. It gave us a major head start for the North America market because we can take that technical data, bring that to North America and basically build on that. It's a very exciting part for us at East St. Paul is to have this as a reference site, a demonstration site to be able to bring people from across North America to come and see the facility. Understand of what we can do with Cyclor Turbo of basically taking the existing tankage and putting twice as much wastewater through it while making better effluent quality.
You really do need to do a full demonstration to capture the resilience of the system and, the real world, operational changes that you may need to make in order to make the system a success. And in smaller communities like East St. Paul here, it can be very challenging. That snowmelt can be 2 to 3 times higher flow, it's more dilute, it's different characteristics. So it's very important to test this out under those conditions. And that's why we felt that a demonstration facility was really important to bring this over to the North American market.
And they gave us this opportunity to say, hey, look, like there's this new process coming to North America.
But having the new technology come in and add capacity, we can now implement that into a new facility, which allows us to have more capacity at a smaller scale, and then grow from there and allow for future development. The more we can talk about it, the more other communities can find innovation and bring it to their communities.